I actually think we're really early, Will. I think institutional adoption in particular is just going to pick up dramatically in 2022. 2021 was a year of learning and education, and really the market solidified. They've built some great bases. So I think actually we're very early. It's just the beginning still. And there's a lot more to come in this year.
Dan, where are you on that question? And I guess the negative that might also come next year is regulation to offset any further engagement that we do see.
Thanks, and Happy New Year. Thanks for being great to be on the show. Look, I think 2020, 2021 were years of basically a kind of a free-for-all. You had like a glut of different coins and assets on, for example, on apps like Coinbase. I think 2022 is going to be more like, let's see which cryptocurrencies have actual use cases in real life. For example, like Square's TBDX, and those are going to win. Where I think some of those cryptocurrencies that have been popular during 2020 and 2021, may not be as popular down the road. So it'll be more of a bifurcation between the two.
What's your view, Dave, as to Bitcoin itself? Will that have a less positive year compared to some of the other cryptocurrencies next year?
Look, I think you have to look at some of the price action, and you also have to look at what's been going on in the industry. Bitcoin is really the stalwart, right? It was the beginning. It was the start. It's got a 10-year price record that is, it's the best performing asset, 135 in 10 years overall. This year, we saw new highs above 65,000 early in the year. And we did see some dramatic swings, right? We saw 250% drawdowns over the last few years. We saw several 20% drawdowns this year, but we've ended the year at close to 50,000 again. I think we've been building a very nice base in the 45 to 50,000 range. I think we've taken in a lot of new investors at these price levels. We've shaken out some money that maybe has made some gains or was unsure about the future. So I think with Bitcoin in particular, we're going to build from here. And on top of that, like was just mentioned, Ethereum is another one where huge gains this year. I think it was 450% this year. But Ethereum is like the building of a new ecosystem and an entirely new financial system. So, I mean, really, even on the back of big gains like that, I mean, the use cases for Ethereum and the amount of people building on top of it today just make it, a very stable, put it in a very stable place, I think.
Dan, if someone is a big believer in that new financial system that Dave just mentioned, in Web3, in further decentralization of the financial system, what's the best way to play that of some of the listed and maybe more medium to big cap stocks versus, clearly a lot of other companies that we hear about, but they're in private VC hands?
Great question. I mean, there's the number one name out there, just like the huge call option on Bitcoin and decentralized is Square, now named Block as well. What they're working on right now, for example, the TBDX protocol is a completely decentralized blockchain protocol based, on the Lightning Network, which will, for example, make some bank tasks redundant. For example, cross-border trading, where the fees are very high, where the networks and some other companies are charging very, very high fees. If you could do that or facilitate that using a completely decentralized system, that's what Square is after. And I think that if they're successful, Square is very, very attractive right now, trading at 160, 170 levels. It could go easily back to its prior highs. So I think that's the number one name to pay attention to if you are bullish on the use cases of Bitcoin, not just Bitcoin by itself.